Hey, what's up you guys, it's Caboose bringing you another Spider-Man PS4 video, and today what we're going to be talking about is the Easter eggs and references that we've heard of so far in Spider-Man PS4. Now, before we jump into this, I wanted to ask you guys, of course, if you could leave a like rating on the video as it shows your support, and I would really appreciate it. So if you could leave a like, that would be awesome. And with that said, well, let's just jump right into this. So the latest Game Informer article has released today, and what it's actually detailing is some of the Easter eggs and references in the game. Now, a lot of this stuff might be stuff that you've heard of before, some of it might be information that you're just hearing for the first time, and I also just wanted to talk on this topic of Easter eggs and references and things we might end up seeing as we play through Spider-Man PS4. Now, right off the bat, they mentioned something that we've heard of before in previous Game Informer articles, and that is that the Avengers Tower, the Sanctum Sanctorum, and the Wakandan Embassy can all be seen as landmarks within the city of Spider-Man PS4. So, as you're swinging through the city, you are going to see that Avengers Tower with the big A on it and everything. You're going to see the Sanctum Sanctorum, which we actually got a glimpse of in a previous Spider-Man PS4 trailer that you're seeing on screen right now. And then you're also going to be able to see the Wakandan Embassy. Now, whether or not the characters that are involved with these landmarks will have some sort of role in the game is yet to be seen, but it is something that I'm really hoping for. Whether it's a cameo or not, it'd be so cool in some way, shape, or form to be able to interact with these characters that belong to these landmarks. Another obvious Easter egg that's been pointed out in this Game Informer article is of the wrestling poster that's inside Peter's apartment that details his match against Joe the Crusher Hogan. This is something that we've seen before in a previous trailer for the game, but it's worth noting once again, he has this poster here, and we get a little look at Insomniac's take on Spider-Man's wrestling suit, which I'm willing to bet, and so is Game Informer, that that wrestling suit will be an alternate suit that you can use within this game. Now, next up for Easter eggs that we have in this game is for Stan Lee, the man who created this character. We can actually see his famous saying, Excelsior, seen on a license plate in Spider-Man PS4 for one of the trucks that Spidey is stopping, and you can see a screenshot of it right now on the screen. Now, it's unknown whether or not every license plate in the game for all the cars that you're going to see in the city will feature Excelsior, but it's a safe bet and a nice little nod to Stan Lee. I'm wondering actually if Stan Lee himself is going to cameo in this game, because he's actually had some really cool roles in previous Spider-Man games. So it's going to be interesting to see what Insomniac does with Stan Lee and whether or not he's going to have some sort of cameo like he always does in the MCU films. Another obvious Easter egg that's pointed out in this article is the signs that show that Norman Osborn is running for re-election as the mayor of New York City. Now, it seems like he's been doing some good in this game considering he was mayor, and we do know, seeing a screenshot here of Norman, that he is going to be in the game. But now it begs the question, is Norman Osborn Green Goblin? Is he a villain? Are we going to see him become the Green Goblin in this game? Because to be honest, if he's run for mayor and he's going for re-election at this point, that either means that he's not the Green Goblin or he is, and Peter hasn't figured that out yet in this universe. Either that or maybe he has and that information is just being withheld from Insomniac and we come to find that Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, is the main villain of the game. I guess we'll wait and see for that, but I am hoping this ends up being the case because the Green Goblin, in my opinion, in my eyes, is always Spider-Man's greatest foe. Out of all the villains that he's faced in his rogues gallery, I always find the Green Goblin to be his ultimate nemesis. You know, the one that brought him the most pain, the one that he's had the most battles with. So that's my opinion, though. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people out there that have a different opinion, but I really do hope that we see that Green Goblin is the main villain of this game. Another really cool Easter egg that's mentioned here is something that I talked about in a previous video for Spider-Man PS4, and that is the direct reference and showcasing of other villains within Spider-Man's universe in Spider-Man PS4. In the opening shots of the game, we can actually see that he's framed some newspapers up in his apartment that show him taking down villains like Scorpion, Rhino, the Vulture, etc. And you can actually see the villains on these newspapers from what Game Informer is saying in this article. I really wish that the footage of that first mission was able to be uploaded online because I would love to see what the character designs are for these villains. And like I mentioned in my previous video covering this topic, I think that if there is a design for these villains, and if Insomniac has created a design for these villains, that must mean that there is an intention to further use them in Spider-Man PS4. Hey, what would be really cool is if we had some sort of prequel DLC with the Sinister Six, featuring some of those villains that we see in those newspaper articles, and it's giving us an idea, the origin of how Spidey takes down those villains. That would be awesome. But hey, listen, this game is going to be chock full of Easter eggs. They said there's going to be plenty of names that you're going to see that reference other characters in the Marvel Universe, and I'm sure there's going to be a ton of other things for us to explore and find within Insomniac's New York City for Spider-Man PS4 that's going to give us those callbacks or those references to other characters that exist within Marvel's world and Spider-Man's world. But if you want to check out the full article that details all these Easter eggs and everything, you can click the link in the description box below. But I want to know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about the Easter eggs and references that we know of so far in this game, and what you think we can end up seeing for more Easter eggs or references in the game when we get our hands on it come September 7th. I want to know what you guys have to say in the comments section below. I'm Caboose, and once again, if you could leave a like rating on the video, it shows your support, and I would really appreciate it. And you can click on screen and make your way to one of the other videos on the channel, or you can click my logo to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description. Drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you have an opinion, and subscribe if you're new. See you guys later.